I'm the 316 Lego Maniac 316 here. I'm back with another Power Rangers Lightning Collection review every Monday. Don't forget. This time it's of the Gamestop exclusive 2-pack of Lord Zedd and Rita Repulsa's 25th wedding anniversary. $49.99 is what this retailed for, and you can still find it. I wouldn't say easily. You can still get it online. Last I looked, it should still be on there. So if you want to get this, I'd recommend it. Wait for a sale though. Anyway, let's talk about the accessories. So, one accessory I forgot here. I usually put all the accessories down, but we get a fist for Zedd here, and then we get a more open hand with a pinky more inward. And all of these are really nicely painted, but the ones I actually have on the figure have some paint scuffs on them, which I will show in a second here. Let's hope Rita doesn't fall down. So yeah, you can see there's a scuff on that one. That's basically the same as this hand. They're very similar. They're not the exact same, I don't think, but one for each side. And then you get a staff holding hand, which mine's really hard. Like I had to heat this up for a minute just to get it to move. But actually, no, that one's not scuffed. I thought it was. Oh well. Anyway, speaking of staff, there's a staff, and this one is different from the single release. As you can see, it's got the little pointy bit at the bottom flipped the correct direction. And he also has a growth bomb in his hand, which I would take out and show you. This is what he would use to grow all the monsters. I mean, it's pretty much what you'd expect, nothing special. I'm just going to stick that back in his hand, which is pretty easy to do. You can stick this in either of the really open hands. And he holds it just like that. Let's go ahead and put him down here. There's a lot of accessories with this set. Come on, stand up. There you go. He usually doesn't have a hard time standing. Anyway, you also get the green crystal that zapped some of the Rangers' power. This was not at the wedding, I don't believe, but, you know, you get it. It's a nice little crystal. Next up, you get an effect piece. You can use this on either one. It's one of those, like, clasp type ones where you open it up and then put it around the staff piece. It's the exact same one as you got with the Tangle Warrior, but in pink. So you can put it on Rita or Zedd. Oop, he fell over. Oh well. Let me pick him back up. Like I said, he usually doesn't have trouble standing. Anyway, last few accessories. You get the love potion. That's basically what made him love her, and then they got married. And then Rita over here, she comes with the flower bouquet. And honestly, it's just a nice flower bouquet. Like, there's nothing super, you know, evil or disgusting about this. It's just flowers. I would assume roses. And then hands. She gets two grabby hands, which are on her right now. She also has a left fist. And those do have all the rings on them. Each hand has all, like, the rings and they're painted, too. It's really nice. And then you got just like a really like clawish hand. Can't really hold anything other than the potion here. Stick that in there. I mean, it's not perfect, but it works, you know. And then she gets her staff, of course, painted on both sides. Really nice. And then you get their cake, their wedding cake. And what's really nice is you get little wedding toppers on top of that and a little spider. It's not a cake I would want to eat, but it's all just one big, harder rubber piece. Not bad. Sorry about that. So yeah, tons of accessories in this set. Like, absolutely insane. So let's go ahead and start off with Zedd, because he is the exact same figure as the single release. The only differences are that the little nails on him are painted silver, and his staff is different. Otherwise, it's the exact same. I never got that initial release, so this one is good enough for me. Let me go ahead and take his staff out of his hand. Hope I can get that back in there. Took me a while to get in there. So, if we look at the promotional render back here, you can see that the blue is much like brighter, more vibrant. It's almost opaque on there. And I think the pinkish red color they used for his like skin or bodysuit, it's a lot darker here than it is over there, and that's why it makes it kind of like pop a bit differently. This one is more accurate to the show, thankfully. So Yeah, but detail-wise, like this is really impressive. Like this is probably the best Lord Zedd we've ever gotten. Like I said, like I had the paint chip here. I also have like a little, really tiny line here. It's not something that bugs me too much, but it's still noticeable. I just want to give you a nice look at this and the shininess of it. They really didn't miss any paint on here. I would have liked to have seen a wash, but really this figure doesn't need it, you know? It'd be nice to have it, but it doesn't need it. I mean, and then let's take a look at that head. While I do like this head, I think the visor should be a bit more pink. I just don't think it looks correct, you know? And again, I would have liked a wash on this just gorgeous molding here, but eh, I could do that myself if I wanted to. You got the brain mass up there, and of course the Z up top, and this is stiffer than I thought it was. I don't think it'll ever break off, but it should be fine. I do want to go over articulation on him, but we'll do that after we take a look at Rita here. I'm going to take her staff out too. So Rita's figure isn't too much to write home about, but this is the first Rita figure we've gotten in like 6 years at the time. I think last time was 2013, 2014. Might have been even earlier than that, like 2011. But yeah, this came out in 2020, so like nearly a decade. Or no, was the Samurai one released? I don't think this. No, I'm thinking of the movie released 2-pack that wasn't gonna do well. But yes, she does have a cloth good. I think this was the first figure in the line to have a cloth good, if I'm not mistaken. It is a little see-through though. If you can kind of see it right here. You can see behind the box there. So, I mean, look, it's just a black female ranger mold, so there's really nothing special about the body under here. Even if I take the arms up, you'll see her forearm is the proper color, but then that's just black. So it's basically just a regular female ranger mold. I really wish they made a new mold for her because she's a bit more like girthy, you know? And that being said, she doesn't stand well on her own, although I got her in a pretty decent pose here. But I gotta say, if you're looking for like a Rita that's from the show, like just regular Rita, this silver should actually be a gold color. It might be coming off gold because of my lighting setup here, which I'm working on, but it's definitely silver. It should be gold, but again, this is for the wedding 2-pack, so there's a possibility they'll release this figure again, but with the more TV show gold, like this gold up here. She does have her little wristbands here, which, if I can get the camera to focus. There you go. And it unfocused. But yeah, you can, those move around. It's hard to show because the I don't remember this being so hard to turn. She has been in the same pose for like the last couple months. Anyway, her arms can't go down very far, but it's really hard to figure out like where the joints are because of the sleeves. It's not so bad in the legs, but in the arms it's really hard to figure out where her elbow is and where the shoulder is. So posability on her is a bit missing, or rather hindered by all of the gunk that's going on. But she's just a basic female body mold for the Rangers, but she has all the basic range of motion you would expect. Although I don't think, unless it's really just stuck. Yeah, I don't feel an ab crunch in there, but I do feel like, actually no, I do feel the molding for an ab crunch, but let's find out. Okay, yeah, there is an ab crunch in there, but it just does not want to crunch. That's what kind of happened with my Magna Defender. I had to like really just like push on it to get it to crunch. But yeah, so she has all the basic female body mold articulation. And then this big giant rubber piece. This thing is huge. It works just like A Squad Blues does, where you can unattach it here, and then you can just lift that off. I'm not going to do it, but you could do that if you just wanted to steal the body mold here, which I don't know why, but it's an absolutely massive piece and includes the little butt flap here. But yeah, everything here is really well painted, really well done. They got the blue, like, weird feather-like things here. You can't take her head off, but actually, it'd probably be easier for you to see the head sculpt. There we go. I just took her head off. And that is a really good likeness. I think they did a really good job with this. Although this is the more, I think this was the replacement actor's head they used rather than the original Japanese actress's head they used. But yeah, absolutely really nice headpiece. Again, this could have used a wash, but I'm not complaining. I mean, they absolutely painted the heck out of these two figures. Now, Posability on Lord Zedd, since I'm here. See, getting her to stand can be an issue. That's my biggest complaint with this figure. I usually have her on one of these NECA stands, which isn't a permanent solution, but it works well enough. Okay, so because of Lord Zedd's tubing here, posability is hindered as well. So, like, he can do this, but I wouldn't recommend going any further than that, because if you look on this side here on the back, this tubing is way out of whack, because I had him in this pose for so long, the tubing just decided, you know what, I'm just going to go this way now. So, it doesn't really bug me, but if you're someone who doesn't like that, yeah, I can understand why. So, be very careful when posing this figure so that you don't warp the tubing. Now, there are some instances where you can, like, take off the tubing. So, like, on the knees here, you can take that off, like, move it, and then plug it in. If I can find the... Yeah, but, like, I mean, it's still, like, tight in there, but it's not going to warp as badly as it would have if it wasn't. So, I mean, it's nice that some sections like that can be moved. The torso cannot. I have tried that. Actually, yeah, look at that. You can do the torso here. I wouldn't recommend pulling it off, though, because I think it's glued in there. But you can absolutely pull at it. It works. And then if you want to do the butterfly joint up here, it doesn't really want to go back, like, at all. Because, again, the tubing in the front here. But what's really nice is that these wrist sections here are part of it. So if you can find a way to... Actually, let's take his hand off so I can show you what I'm saying here. So his wrist piece is just like SPD Omega's. Huh. It really does not want to come off. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. I'm taking both hands off. Sorry about this. So this left side comes off nice and easy. But when I try to take off the right side, it just does not want to budge. I think that might be molded in. There we go. It's not molded in. It was just... I see what happened. A little bit of paint got under there. Must have mixed with the factory process. Anyway, but yeah, you can take these off and then, like, twist it around. If you wanted to do that, make it easier to pose him and whatnot. Getting it on isn't too big a challenge. But putting it on, you want the blue tubes to go towards the back of the forearm. Like so. And let's get his hands on. Okay, so that pretty much does it for articulation. Basically what you've already seen with your other previous figures in the line, save for a few. And why did I have to take this tubing off? I'm just fixing Lord Zedd here before I do some size comparisons. His hand does not want to go in. There we go. That felt kind of loose. Come on. Move yourself. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and grab my only Mighty Morphin figure, Ranger. That is, of course, Dragon Shield Black Ranger here. And he's actually a bit shorter than both of them. I mean, Rita's technically shorter than him because she uses the female body mold, but that huge headdress she has make her taller. And then Zedd's much taller, like, I'd say like a quarter-inch taller. Like, he has a presence, you know? Nice and just thick-bodied. Alright, how else should we compare them to? Trying to stick him back here. Not an easy task. Get back there. Let's do Psycho Red from the 2-pack. And yeah, he's pretty short. Pretty much the same exact height as Rita. Again, she's taller because of the headdress. And then lastly, let's do Tango Warrior. Let me fix his arms so that he doesn't get in the way. And there's Tango Warrior. Of course, this dude is much bigger, and surprisingly, he's like just a shy, like I'd say like maybe a 1/16 of an inch shorter than Zedd. Like they're very close in height. Obviously, his, head ornament, if you will, makes him taller. But yeah, pretty good size comparison. Let's go ahead and take a look at the box. This is probably one of my favorite parts of this 2-pack. I'm just going to lay them down. It actually has a bit of a blurb on the back. The horror of your presence is absolutely required at the marriage of Rita Repulsa and Lord Zedd. And you still get the standard traditional little pose on the back here, legalese, and on the bottom, legalese, but it's a bit nicer. Let's see, the left side of the box, if you're looking at the front, it's got Zedd, and then the right side's got Rita, and it does say Mighty Morphin up here, if I can, whoop, there you go. And oddly enough, at the top it says Mighty Morphin too, and black and burgundy. There's the box, and the box is really nice. Basically, they have them packaged like this so that the staffs are crossing. And then you have all the other extra accessories in there too. But yeah, I gotta say, I think this 2-pack is absolutely worth the money. $50, that's, I mean, it's an upcharge, but you gotta understand why. Like, nothing paint-wise is really missing. It's probably the best versions of both of these figures in any line that we've ever had. Just fixing the lighting here. And, I mean, they're just gonna look great on the shelf, And they're highly posable. Like, I think this is a no-brainer. If you see it on the shelf, if you see it online for a really good price, if it's on sale, or even full price, I think it's absolutely worth your money. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next Lightning Collection review. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment as per usual, and thanks for watching. Peace.